Brain,
Trust.
Sports.
Brain Trust Sports Podcast here. And today we are going to talk to you about sports. We are going to talk to you about the Saints. We are going to talk what, man? We're just trying to be professional here, Matthew.
Yes,
Okay.
profesh.
Trey Bagby joined by Matthew Hill and Mason Thomasy. Guys, I hope you're all
I'm
having a
back.
wonderful evening. He's back. He was not in jail,
Freemason.
despite my last background. Sorry. So today we're going to talk to you guys about Saints, what's working on their offense, talk about some numbers, Eagles preview, we'll give you a score prediction, all that good stuff. But first, we're going to talk to you about the origin of the Brain Trust because we kind of just slapped the name out there without really explaining it. So just to kind of start, Matt Mason and I a long time ago used to all work together, and we sat in proximity with each other. Matt and I have known each other since we were very young. And then Mason, you and I kind of met and worked with Matt. Obviously, started working together,
About
and
7 years
all
ago,
had a
brother.
had a huge passion for Saints football, in football in general. Um, and really kind of built something together where we would all sit together, and we were so happy that we were all in close proximity with each other that we kind
Hmm.
of started to referring to each other as the Brain Trust.
Right.
So much so that when our boss would come and speak with us, that was him consulting the Brain Trust, so to speak. That's why we also have our symbol as
Yep.
well.
The brain.
You gotta do it too, Mason. You gotta do it too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't. I was looking
Yeah,
at stats over
it's
here,
okay.
guys.
It's
I was looking at
okay. It's okay.
stats.
It's okay. It's okay.
Edit that.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
It's all good.
yeah. So the brain cannot function without all three parts. We didn't know how we pulled off the last podcast, but we did,
It's probably
and
why
we're
we
so
got
happy
half
that
the
we have you
views.
back, Mason. Yeah,
Thanks, man. It's
just
great to be
thanks,
back.
Matt. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
We'll say that in the
This is
background the whole episode, Matt.
this is
Yeah,
our
like
only
it's
source of income is based off of the 72 views that
Some
we get.
people. Some people.
you, yeah.
Uh,
So y'all better watch this like 100 times.
Yeah. You could be
so
saving
what?
lives over here.
So Mason, we did want to bring you in, man, because you told us that you did some film review
Yeah, a little
on the
bit. A
Cowboys
little bit.
game.
A little bit.
What
Yep.
what were some things that stuck out to you about that before we get into next week and things like that? What were some things that
Yeah.
stuck out to you about this Cowboys game?
Well, I mainly watched the offensive side. I mean, obviously I watched the whole game, but as far as like the film and the all 22, mainly offense. And what I saw was just the creativity, just that you never know. The defense was never going to know who it was going to go to. They couldn't figure it out. You have Shaheed going in motion one way, you got Taysom going in motion the other way. It was just completely confusing for the Cowboys. And the main thing that I saw in film was the ability for the offensive line to completely take away Micah Parsons. Took him out of the game. And the game planning also took Micah Parsons out of the game because there was a lot of outside runs to the other side of Micah, and they just kind of ran the ball away from Micah Parsons the whole game. It worked so well. We blocked so well. Fuagua played great because he is on that side away from Micah Parsons. And we set up the play action. And that's basically what the film said. And play action works so well because of those zone runs, those outside zone runs that we were running. And we just schemed around and away from Micah Parsons. Took him out of the game completely. But the offensive line, that's really what I saw in the film was just that's what impressed me the most, man. The holes that Alvin Kamara was getting, the way that like these guys were getting thrown around and stuff, the physicality. Another thing I saw a lot too was the camaraderie by the offensive line too. Um, they would get pumped up for each other. I think Alvin scored one of his touchdowns, and you could just see that the offensive line was just like fucking. Oh, excuse my language. I'm trying not to curse as much, guys. Um, you could tell the offensive line was just so excited for Alvin and for the team, and like that they did their job, man. So it feels like they have that. They're starting to get that brotherhood, which is I think is very important because once you work for each other, that's the way it works, man. So.
Yeah, Lucas
Um,
Patrick is the highest graded
Lucas
guard,
Patrick, man,
Pro Football
unbelievable.
Focus.
Who would have thought
And that
that?
was a free agent signing. Fuaga's a hit.
Mm-hmm. Penning
You're able to
isn't
hide.
You're hiding Penning great, man.
You're hiding Penning because you're putting him on the side that Derek can see.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
even when he's giving up on the rush, Derek knows, okay, I've got to get this ball out.
Yep. He can back up a little bit if he needs to because he can see Trevor Penning got beat maybe. So yeah, man. And then I saw, I know you sent me that GIF, that one play, that Alvin Kamara touchdown where Trevor Penning just slammed the dude to the ground,
Bodies,
pancaked
bodies.
him. Like that's what we drafted him for. I'm sorry. Like that's what they saw in him. They saw that mean, I'm gonna get you a couple rough personal foul penalties, but I'm gonna put some people on the ground too. So that's what we drafted him for, and it's good to see some of those aspects in his game now, and hopefully more and more and more the more time he gives.
The first podcast is going to age terribly for me because Derek Carr is absolutely crushing it right now.
Yeah, I'm trying not to
And
rub it in your face.
I
No,
caught out
rub it
his
in.
leadership a lot too. I really, really do. I mean, it's going to be bad, man. I mean, you want to talk
You
about
need to
putting some
write a
bad
letter
film
to
out there?
him.
Your boy put out some bad film week 1 when we did our first pod for sure.
Yeah,
Matt,
you
Uh-huh.
were ready
Matt,
to write him off last year.
Yeah.
oh,
Oh man,
100%, man.
you're a
And,
hater, man. I'm
and
not
it's
gonna expose you too much, but you didn't
look,
like Derek
it is
Carr.
what it is. Absolutely. Look, I'm as a Saints fan, I'm super happy
Of
that I am
course.
completely wrong and bricked on this.
Right,
We
of
were all
course.
wrong to a certain extent, some of us more than others. Me.
Yeah.
Matt,
Yeah.
why is this offense working, Matt?
I mean, not to reiterate all the same stuff, but Mason hit on a lot of the key points why the offense is moving like it's moving. The offensive line is playing really, really well. I kind of said it in the last one. I said they're playing out of their mind, but at the same time, it's kind of been consistent now. So maybe that should actually be the expectation and not necessarily playing outside of their mind. That's just going to become more the norm, and I hope that's the case. But the scheme helps to do it, and if that's the scheme, that should be, I guess, the expectation. Uh, Mason said it. The holes that Alvin Kamara got to run through on a lot
Man.
of those runs were just massive. That's
Hmm.
why he was getting 3 and 4 yards probably past the line of scrimmage before contact. He would get a head full of steam and be able to move. And we all know how Alvin Kamara is as far as contact balance. The dude is
Hmm.
not human. Like
Hmm.
the way that he runs is so fluid. You can hit him, and it's almost like he just kind of rolls off of it, and he's like, "I'm still going this way. I'm
He's
still going
got
to get a
crumple
few yards."
zones, man.
Yeah,
Alvin
pretty
Kamara has
much.
crumple zones.
He pretty much does. He's yeah, I don't know the way he runs. His body absorbs the contact while
Hmm.
still maintaining the motion
Right.
forward. It's crazy to see. Um, the motions, exactly what Mason said again, helps to confuse the defense. They don't know where the ball is going to go, whether it's going to go to AK, whether it's going to go to Taysom, Olave, it's going to go to Shaheed. They just don't know. It's kind of a thing of like, hey, for a defense, you kind of just got to pick your poison. It's like, okay, let's try to shut down AK. Boom, you get hit with a bomb over the top. Shaheed takes it 70 yards because you're playing on the run. It's great to see. It's great offensive scheming. The personnel is playing really, really well. O line is blocking. Routes are really clean. Play action and everything is confusing. The defense, which we all knew, or at least I did. Uh, Derek Carr has actually been throughout his career a good play action passer. He always has been, and it's nice to see an offensive coordinator see it, notice it, and actually develop an offense that's going to help his quarterback play really, really well. And it's nice to see that because last year we touched on in the first video. I think Mason, you did. Pete Carmichael, it just absolutely atrocious. And you said
Hmm.
even the game one, you saw no evidence of Pete Carmichael's
Right.
fingerprints all over anything. There was
Anything.
no evidence of it, and
He's got his
it's a great
fingerprints
thing
all
to
over
watch.
Denver's offense right now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And look at that. Isn't that a coincidence, huh?
yeah. Well, I
I
Sean
mean,
feel like
Payton
it's a
blasphemed.
cancer. It's
Sean
a
Payton
cancer wherever he
absolutely
goes.
blasphemed when he said that Bo Nix reminded him of Drew Brees.
He said that? Man, that's
You do not
yeah.
blaspheme
disrespectful.
at the altar of Brees.
I didn't
You do
hear it.
not
I
do
didn't
that.
get to
Well, I don't
see
know how Breeze played his rookie year, but they do
it.
have a rookie quarterback in Bo Nix, so I don't know how much of that is, growing pains with having a rookie out there that hasn't competed on the NFL level, but
Hmm.
time will tell.
Right.
Yeah, so Derek Carr this year, 30 for 39 for 443 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. 76.9% completion percentage, 12.8% touchdown percentage, which is bonkers high. That's the
Unbelievable.
percentage of touchdowns that you throw per
Right.
pass.
Per literal
So
throw.
more than one of every 10 of his passes is going for a touchdown, basically.
That's
11.4 yards per attempt, 12.77 air yards per attempt, and a 142.4 rating, where a 158.3 is perfect. He's absolutely crushing it. Alvin Kamara had 5 rushing touchdowns last year, and he's already got
yeah,
4 this year.
that's crazy. In one game. No, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
One game, man.
He had three in one.
yeah, 3, 4
This is
total.
And one
And Derek
this is
and
also
Derek Carr has that rushing touchdown
yeah,
also to throw in that.
you sprinkle that in.
Mhm.
so these are all stats that you can look up online. You can find yourself on all the basic
Obviously.
sites. There's a site that I just saw, True Media has a pretty advanced stat that I just learned about recently called rushing success rate. So this is based off of the down and the percentage of yards that you're expected to get on your first down, second down, third down, fourth down. So it's considered a success on first down if you get 40% of the yards that you're supposed to get on first down, so 4 yards, and then 60% of the yards on second down that you're expected to get, or what's considered a success. So the Saints right now have the 51.6% rushing success rate on first and second downs. So they're getting 4 yards a crack rushing the ball on first down. They are rushing the ball more than they are passing the ball on first down. They're telling you they're going to run this ball on first down. They're still
Right.
successful with it.
It's
And
that
who was
O-line, man.
successful last year? Who was the best team in the league last year at rushing the ball on first down? You want to take a
Was
guess?
it Philly?
San
No.
Francisco, I'm gonna guess.
Yep, San
Oh yeah,
Francisco.
San
Yeah.
Francisco. Good call. I knew Philly was a good rushing
So
team.
Derek Carr, we talked about Matt. You talked about his dropbacks. You talked about his play action. He's had 20 dropbacks from under center and used play action. He's 12 of 18 for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns on this play, including each touchdown to Shaheed. So it works for a lot of different reasons. I think the biggest reason why this offense is successful this year is your Saints are essentially able to go into a max protect with the offensive line, but still use the talent at wide receiver to get themselves open. Chris Olave
Right.
is still very fast. Shaheed is very fast. These guys are getting themselves open based off of their talent. Derek Carr has time to get them the ball, and you are gashing them so much in the running game. These linebackers are frozen.
Right.
Rushing is up in the NFL in
They're on
general
their
right now.
heels. They're on their
Yeah,
heels.
man. So and the NFL has a lot of ebbs and flows. Since the league has shifted so much to a passing league, passing's down this year. So you're not getting nearly as many passing yards per game right now. It's at an all-time low, I think, for the past like 10 years is a stat that I looked at the other day. But what your Saints are doing is absolutely exploiting that with the talent they have at receiver. And they actually have a guy named Alvin Kamara that's actually really, 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 really good. This guy's been absolutely underrated and buried in a terrible scheme for 3 years with outside of Derek Carr last year just trying to figure it out with no chemistry and a horrible scheme.
Right.
Trevor Siemian, Andy Dalton,
Forcing
a
out in the
busted
ball.
Jameis Winston, just people that weren't ready
Right.
to really be that they just aren't that good. And then we get back to Derek Carr a little bit, man. Alvin Kamara said in an interview after the game that really just kind of, again, I'm gonna be eating crow all season on this guy. That's fine with me.
I hope so.
Alvin Kamara said Derek got way too much shit last year because he saw the work that he was putting in. This wasn't just this year he decided to work his butt off. He was doing it last year too. He really wants to give everything that he has to be able to have this team be successful because he cares, man. He wants to do well. And he puts in the work, and that's just with anything in life, man. You put in the work, you're going to have rewards. And the team is absolutely talented enough to be successful. These guys have a chemistry and cohesion. Most of these guys, even though they're older, have been a part of these 13-win Saints teams. They know what winning looks like. Kamara has said this so many times in interviews, and it's just absolutely working, man. And it's beautiful to see. You're able to hide this offensive line, but I don't even know if you're really hiding them right now. Fuaga looks like an absolute star year one. Lucas Patrick right now, he came up from the Detroit Lions. You think the Detroit Lions don't miss him right now with the issues they've been having? So it's incredible to see. It's the most exciting time to watch Saints football since Drew Brees has been at quarterback. And it's not an understatement. They're breaking records right now. And I feel really bad for the Eagles. These guys are going to come into the Dome on Sunday, and they're going to get their asses handed to them. And I'm here for it, man. I really, really am. So, I mean, I don't think you have to hope, man. I don't think you have
Okay.
to hope at all.
Okay.
I don't.
I
I'm
like
not.
your
I'm not
confidence.
scared of this Eagles team. I'm not scared of this Eagles team at all. I'd be scared of them if they showed a little bit more life on defense. So,
I'm seeing predicted
trade.
scores of Saints winning. A lot of people predicting the Saints to win our so
So this line opened up before the Eagles played on Monday night. The Saints were a 2.5 point dog, and that's already shifted 2.5 points to the Saints'
that's
favor.
awesome. Yeah.
And we're not a gambling podcast, but you should absolutely take all the Saints on that. The
Yeah.
Eagles cannot defend the run to save their lives right now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, they've gone against two of the better running backs in the NFL. They played Josh
They're
Jacobs week 1. They played
Bijan.
Bijan Robinson week 2. They've been getting hit for over 5 yards a carry. Matt, what do you think the Saints are going to be able to do to the Eagles on Sunday that's going to lead them to being able to win this game? What are some things that you've seen from the Eagles so far? Give me some breakdowns on that, man. What do you think?
I mean, I think I've seen, the same thing that you guys have seen. They're susceptible to the run, and with how we run the ball and all that we've just talked about with our scheming and play action and everything like that, and plus the sheer amount of runners, so to speak, really that we have. You have Alvin Kamara out of the backfield. You have Taysom Hill that's playing some little bits of running back. Hope he's good to go this weekend. Jamal Williams. We just have a plethora of ways to run the ball. We even, I think, had a run to Shaheed last game. I think he even had we had a couple of rushing attempts. I think one was from him actually being in the backfield as
In the
playing
backfield.
the halfback, so to
Yeah.
speak, or the running back, so to speak.
Right.
So
It's like a
we can
toss
just
or something.
yeah, we can just hit you so many ways, and I think it's going to be more of the same, really, to be honest. Bijan looked good against them on Monday night, so I think AK is going to look really good. I mean, if Atlanta and Bijan can look good against the Eagles, I think there's no doubt the Saints and AK are going to look good. I think the offensive line is going to continue to do their thing. We're going to put not only max protect and pass protection, but we may line up with 8 people around the around the line of scrimmage, probably with somebody in motion, but we tend to snap it with a tight end or a fullback in motion that's right behind Derek. Tends to be the timing as to when we snap it, and we might have 7 or 8 people right at the line ready to make a block, open up these massive holes that we've been able to do through the first 2 weeks. So I think it's going to be more of the same, to be honest. I think AK is going to gash them. We're just going to hit them left, hit them right, hit them left, and then we'll have a big play with Olave. We'll have a big play with Shaheed. We'll pick up those chunk plays, and then the defense is just, again, they're going to get put in the position to where they're not going to know what's coming. They're going to be like, are we about to get hit with play action again? Are they actually going to hand the ball off? Is there going to be a big ass hole where AK takes off? Are they going to do none of that, set up a screenplay, and AK takes off for another 50, 60-yard touchdown? There's just too many things for a defense to account for. And I mean, if we're talking full scope of what to expect, I expect the defense to ball out as well. Now, typically, past
Man,
couple of years, we haven't played well against mobile quarterbacks, but I think we owe
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts a
Yeah.
pretty
A
stout
rematch.
game to say the least. So
well,
I'm looking forward to
defensively,
it.
defensively, yeah. I'm glad you said that. Jalen Hurts has absolutely destroyed the Saints. He's ran for over 100 yards. Both games he's
Yeah,
played against us, he had 3 rushing touchdowns last time he played us. I know you mentioned Taysom, Matt. Injury report was out today. This is as of Wednesday night. So
Alvin
Taysom
Woodrow.
didn't practice today. Taysom didn't practice today. Lattimore actually got a limited practice in, which is
Oh,
huge.
really? Nice.
yeah,
I
that's
thought he'd
good.
be out. I thought he'd be out for at least
Good
2 weeks
stuff.
with a
Good stuff.
hamstring. So the fact that he got a I mean, these limited practices could be just him stretching and doing a warm up, and they count this as limited practice. So I don't want to say that he's going to come out here and lock up Devonta Smith, but I do think
Sure.
that it leads us to believe that it's healing well enough where he can get on it, see how it reacts, and then just kind of go from there. Taysom Hill is obviously a huge piece of this offense, and it's not even for the numbers that he's putting up. He's actually just
Yeah,
he's lined up at quarterback twice. He's not really running the ball a whole lot, but he is absolutely your best fullback and halfback in this offense with how we use him. Everybody wants to know where Taysom is on the field. They're all scared, absolutely shitless of him. he is still going to be split out wide. There's not a lot of fullbacks that can go out in motion and run like he does as a receiver.
Hmm.
Actually, there's none in the NFL. Let's
Right.
just be blunt with
No
that.
way.
So whether or not
49ers
he's
have
going
a
to be
good
back for this game is
passing.
huge. I don't see the Eagles being able to figure out the Saints offense for the simple fact that the Saints have
No.
just not put enough film out there to show how this is going to be stopped. I think the Eagles are going to have to do a lot of cheating. They're going to have to do a lot of blitz guessing. They're going to have to pray
Hmm.
to God that the Saints are actually lining this up right. And I just don't know that that's going to work with a quarterback that's been in the league for 11 years. Is going to be able to recognize it. So I'm excited to see that. Mason, what are some of your keys to this Eagles Saints matchup, man? What are some things that you're going to be looking for as to why you think we're going to be
Yeah.
successful in this game?
So I got kind of two things. And it's kind of just following the lead of the last two games, obviously. But the thing is, Kubiak, he's new to the NFL, right? As far as play calling, kind of somewhat right now. So we only have really
So he played
two
called for a year
games
in
of
Minnesota.
film. Yeah, I know. I remember he did that, but we have two games of film with the Saints right now. So
Yep.
um, the more and more games that stack up, the more and more that teams are gonna. He's gonna have to get more creative. He's gonna have to change things up. This is all fresh, so it's definitely going to still have to be a thing that you constantly work on, you constantly evolve and change. Um, I think the biggest thing and what's happened in the last two games is the fact that we got up to some good leads has helped our defense because it makes the other team have to become one-dimensional. Just
Yep.
got to not run, you're stopping the run game, doing more passes. And it kind of makes it easier for our defense to react and get a step on some plays too because they kind of know what's coming. They got to pass the ball. They got to catch up to us because we've already built these big leads, and we obviously have an offense that's just on fire. So I think it kind of takes other teams out of their game plan that they come in with because it's like, okay,
Definitely.
now we can't run the ball like we want to. We have to just try to play catch up ball the whole time. And so I think that's huge for our defense. That creates opportunities, turnover opportunities for our defense. I think just those two offense, defense working with each other, working for each other, I think that's going to be a key. The offense gets out to a good start like we've been doing. It's just going to help the defense, man. So, and then it'll help us having to chase Jalen Hurts around, which is, the, I think, the only thing that could really beat us. So.
You're not worried about Saquon?
Saquon's nice,
Not
man,
worried
but
about
we
Saquon.
have a good run.
Yeah.
We have a good
Yeah.
run defense when it comes to running backs. Just scrambling quarterbacks give us a little problem sometimes, or at least give DA a problem. But
I want to be clear, like when I say that I'm not
Yeah.
worried about the Eagles in this game, I'm not worried about them from a standpoint of them being able to stop us. And I
mhm.
don't really fully believe that we're going to be able to stop them nearly as much. I think Jalen Hurts is going to come in here, and
Well,
I'm
with
I'm
AJ
feeling
Brown
there's going
out
to be a
is
lot of
great.
yeah,
AJ
that
Brown
helps.
being out
Yeah,
is freaking
having him is
huge.
going to be
Yeah,
massive.
you just
Thanks for
got to double Devontae Smith, or just watch him at least. I don't think we got to double him. We got good enough corners.
I
Um,
don't know that I've ever heard a player say, "Yeah, I'm going to be out a couple of weeks before a big game."
wow.
Like normally you want to keep that shit like
Right.
don't say anything. Shut the
Yeah.
hell up. We
So they
don't want
can't
them. We don't
prepare
Yeah.
want
and
them.
stuff like that, right?
It's all about preparation, and you want every
Right.
advantage that you can have in the
Right.
NFL. I think Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley an absolute nightmare in the backfield with each
Oh
other.
yeah, they're
Eagles
crazy
had
combo.
the Eagles gave that game away to the Falcons more
Oh
than
yeah.
anything else. Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins even said it in an interview that they weren't really able to move the ball down the field until they went to prevent with the game on the line. And Saquon should have
Right.
caught that pass in the flat, man.
Oh yeah.
Saquon Barkley catches a
He's
pass
sold.
that you get paid 17 million a year, however much he's getting
Yeah.
paid to catch right now. And he
Right.
absolutely alligator armed it, and they should have won that game. Going like
Right.
they should have won that game. And now they're going to come in here 1-1. They're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to
They
hear
definitely
everybody
will.
saying that the Saints are the bee's knees and all this crap. And
Yep.
what are the Saints going to be able to do to show them that? And I just don't think that the Saints have enough film out yet where the Eagles are going to say, okay, this is a
Right.
tendency. This is
I
a
don't
tendency.
think we have
This is a
enough.
tendency.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do that. I don't
Not
think that they
enough
have the
film.
personnel on defense to stop us. I think their offensive line is it's absolutely hurting now that Jason Kelsey isn't on it anymore. there's some Eagles guys that are talking about how many checks he would make in the passing game, and you're just relying on a different guy to do that now.
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts is playing much better football throwing the ball than what I thought he would. They had that really methodical drive where they went down and took that touchdown before the drive where Saquon dropped the ball. It was like a 13 play drive over 8 minutes or something like that for that touchdown, and it was a very similar drive to the Saints having against the Cowboys where he took 9 minutes off the clock. It was 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here, just chipping away that 5,000 cuts type shit. So I know that the Eagles are going to be able to score offensively in this game, and I absolutely think that they are going to be more than capable of getting into the upper 20s against our defense, because the Saints are going to be letting their foot off the gas at the end of the game, bro. They're going to absolutely put a butt whooping on this Eagles defense. The Eagles are giving up what, Matt? Over 5 yards a carry right now. They're one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. They're
Yeah.
one of the worst overall defenses in the league after 2 weeks. They played Kirk Cousins with a jacked up Achilles week one, and they
Yeah.
played
Yeah.
a Green Bay team with Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love week one with and I don't really know much about Green Bay yet because Jordan Love's out. I don't know that Jordan Love is really fully arrived, but we may see, man. I don't know. But I don't have these guys winning this game. I don't have the Eagles really being in this very long. I think this may be one of those games where by the middle of the third quarter you can say, "Wow, this is going to be the
Another
announcer's going to
blowout.
be looking for something. The announcer's going to be looking for something else to talk about."
You think it's
So
gonna be one of
uh,
those?
I'm telling you, man, I just
You think it's
don't
gonna be
see the Saints being
another
stopped.
Cowboys game?
I don't know that the
Similar?
Saints are going to get into the 40s. I
Yeah,
think as much as I would love to see that,
yeah.
I've got personally, we can go ahead and go to score predictions, man. I've
Okay,
got Saints 38-28.
okay.
And I was feeling 35 a little bit, but I don't know, maybe just talking to you guys, maybe I'm getting a little, what do the kids say?
Uh-oh.
Maybe I'm getting a little
Groupie's gotta
rizzed
get
up.
a field
Maybe
goal
I'm
in
I
getting a
got,
there.
little
I got,
rizzed
I
up.
got, I got some questions though. Then based on that, Trey, how many drives do you think the Saints get this game?
Oh, how many drives are in an NFL game on average? Like 9 or 10?
Hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Eight,
Yeah,
9, 10.
yeah, I can
Yeah,
see
you
that.
think so we get 9 or 10? How many of those do you think honestly the Saints get as a touchdown?
Well, I mean, look, man, they're 15 for 15 with Derek Carr so far scoring the ball, right? I mean, it
That's my
hasn't been
point.
stopped yet. I would love to say that it just. I mean, it's such an anomaly, Matt. It's just
Oh
such
yeah,
an
yeah,
anomaly.
no,
Like
I
you can
agree.
talk about even Derek Carr playing as perfect as he has. He threw a pick
Mhm.
against the Cowboys because he just had a bad pass to Olave. I mean,
Right,
that happened.
right.
Right.
Derek Carr could be off a little bit. Somebody could play tight. A receiver could fall down, just like how
Right.
the rookie receiver for the Cowboys fell down,
And
leading to a pick
these
for us.
these
Somebody could have an MA. Like shit
yeah,
happens. Is
these
what I'm trying to say. That's why.
these defensive coordinators in the league are smart, man. And
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I'm
and you
giving
could
you
have one
38
game
points,
where
Matt. I'm giving you 38
you
points.
could you
Like
could
we're
have
gonna score a lot of
No,
points
no,
this
no,
game.
and I'm not really arguing that. What I'm saying is, like, even if you look at it, if we get 9 or 10, split the difference, call it 9.5 drives,
Yeah.
yeah,
maybe nine. If our offense scores a touchdown,
on half of them.
slightly over half, exactly, is 5 touchdowns. So, I mean, if you get the extra point on
Yeah,
everyone, which you would have to assume that's a high likelihood, that's 35 points
yeah,
right there, not counting any field goals.
right.
So
But I'm
I'd have to
thinking,
think that we get one or
mhm.
two of those.
So what's your score, Matt?
I think the Eagles are hungry and they're fixing to order a burger. I think we're going to go ahead and put 40 on them at least. So I think that honestly, oh yeah, I think it's going to be more of the same. I mean, as much as I'm a y'all know me really well. I am a realist, and everything that I keep saying, realistically, I think we're going to put up 40, 41. My score
That's a real jackass, but
for
yeah, you're a realist.
41
That's what we're gonna
24
call it.
is what I'll say. I
41
think,
24.
21-24?
yeah,
Yeah.
41 24 is what I
Okay.
think, somewhere in that vicinity. I just, our offense, then that almost, I think to myself, like, 41 points. That's almost an off game considering both of the week one and week two, we've put up 40 points pretty much through 3 quarters because we haven't needed our starters into the fourth.
Mm.
So I think that, yeah, if we honestly need 4 quarters, I think we're going to put up 40 plus. That's just me.
Are you kind of like me, Matt? You probably see this. I kind of see us trading blows in the first half. Like I won't be surprised if the Eagles put up a couple of touchdowns in the first half, and it's something like 20-14 at the half, and then the Saints just keep kind of plowing on, and the Eagles just can't really maintain it. I don't know. That's what I see.
Yeah,
Mason, what do you see? How do you see the flow of the game, and what's your score prediction?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to take the rose-colored glasses off or whatever they call it, and try to come down to reality a little bit.
that is reality.
Just a little
Black
bit.
and gold, no rose
I
colored over
hear
here,
you,
baby. Just black and
brother.
gold
I
glass,
hear you.
baby.
I mean,
What we
the
just did
Atlanta
is incredible, right? When those last two games, what we did is incredible.
and last year, Atlanta, we ended
Yeah,
with
for sure, for
48,
sure,
then
for sure, for
47,
sure.
then
Saints are,
44.
that's what the Saints are doing. They're
Exactly.
hitting. They're hitting the celly.
I don't know, man. I think we're gonna win for sure. Actually, I'm pretty confident we'll win. But I just think that it's gonna be closer than we think.
Yeah,
I think the
I mean
Eagles are
Jalen
hungry,
Hurts,
like you
man.
guys said. They're not
We're
gonna
having
trying to
issues with
lose
Jalen Hurts. It
twice
is
in a
what it
row.
is.
Right. We've had issues with Jalen. Um, man, it's just hard to say like that they're gonna. I don't know. We have a lot of weapons, man. It's hard if the thing is if somebody has a bad game, if Shaheed's getting locked up, you got so many other things to go to. So it's hard to say that you're going to score little points, right? Because it's hard to say all these guys are just going to have a bad game. And then Kubiak has the knowledge and the brains to, if this guy's having a bad game, to give it to someone else, to look elsewhere, change the game plan. So I think our offense is still going to put up points. I think every game this year they should put up points, no matter who they're playing. I think we just have an advantage on offense versus defense. We just have too
Decided
many
schematic
weapons.
advantage. A
Right. Yeah.
decided schematic advantage is what's going on right now with the New Orleans
We have
Saints.
a bunch of weapons and we have someone who knows how to use them. And that
Chess
is
versus
danger.
checkers.
That is a dangerous combo.
I'm telling you, man. Alvin
So I,
Kamara, we would not be talking about this Alvin Kamara Christian McCaffrey thing pisses me off a lot because Christian McCaffrey was MVP last year. Alvin Kamara is a better running back than Christian McCaffrey. He is far
you
more
think
talented. I think Christian McCaffrey's
that's a very
stronger.
confident statement.
I think Christian McCaffrey, this is why I think McCaffrey's better. I think McCaffrey is a stronger running back than Alvin Kamara. Not by much, but
I
he
think
is stronger.
Alvin's stronger. I think Alvin's
I,
stronger than
I think I think Christian McCaffrey is one of those. I mean, he's just physically from a
I
pure
take
eye test
Christian
physical how he
more
plays.
elusive,
I think
shiftier, or
Kamara is more elusive,
quicker,
baby.
quicker.
Quicker. I don't even know if I give him quicker, man. I think he's a little bit better in
Yes.
pass pro. I'll give him that. I think he's a little more versatile in the field with that. Kamara is a far better receiver. Kamara is a far better, and that's in every facet, hands, route running, being able to make people miss in the secondary, things like that. He's absolutely faster than Christian McCaffrey, and he was
You think he's
absolutely
faster
buried in
than
a
Chris?
terrible
Is he
scheme.
really?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And look, man, if you look at the scheme of everything too, and you're going to see this, like, pull up right now as year to date, pull up Alvin Kamara versus Christian McCaffrey for their total career gains, man. Like
For what? For
they're
stats?
what and what?
No,
Yeah,
rushing
just
yards?
overall
Yeah,
stats head to head,
absolutely. Yeah,
everything head to head. They
they're
are
the two
right
they're
there.
the two dudes, bro.
And now I'm telling you, man, like especially with McCaffrey getting injured, Kamara's going to take him in overall career stats this year. I'm calling it right now. Like that is going to be a thing that happens, and I'm all here for it, man. He's in
Yeah.
a scheme that makes the most sense right now. This dude already
Well,
is about to beat his total rushing touchdowns from last year. That should be all that you need to know about how
McCaffrey's out till week
horribly he was
7
buried.
anyway.
Yeah, man, and
McCaffrey's
it's
out till
totally
week
fine.
7, so
And look, the guy's been gets used and abused too. Let's be real here, man. I mean, he is a really good running back. Alvin does a great job of absorbing hits and knowing when to get out of bounds. McCaffrey
right.
is kind of a
Risk
blockhead.
taker.
He wants to go he wants to hit and get hit.
Right, right.
And it's fine. I want that mentality in my running backs sometimes too. But like
Mhm.
Kamara's the guy that no, look, I got the first down. Like instead of dropping my head and getting an extra 3 or 4 yards, I'm just going to step out of bounds real quick. I don't need that right now.
Right.
Our offense is running that well. It used to kind of piss me off a little bit, but it's not like that anymore. So I really feel that McCaffrey versus Kamara, like by the end of the season, we're going to say, oh man, actually Kamara's actually
I think so too. I agree.
Yeah,
well with it.
he's already well on his way after 2 games. He's on a different level right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
we got
for
off on a
sure.
tangent. I'm sorry. Mason, what was your score prediction? I don't think you gave a score prediction. What's your score prediction?
A little bit lower than you guys. A little bit lower. I don't think we're gonna get in the 40s on this one.
114, Mason says. All right. I don't know about that one.
No, wait, what?
I'm
So
just
you
kidding.
mean
I'm just kidding.
you mean we're gonna get in the? You mean we're gonna hit 50?
30s. I think
We're gonna
30s.
hit 50?
Nah, I think in the
Aw.
30s. I think like a 35er to like a 21 or something like that.
35-21.
Mhm.
Mason, you got the
I,
Saints by 2 scores. You made it seem like it was going to be so much closer, and you still got us winning by 2 scores in the NFL, which is
I
really
don't know,
good.
man. I don't know.
I don't know. After the first 2
That's true.
weeks,
That's true.
35
But
just
I guess I
seems.
convinced myself with our
We got
offense,
Mason
man.
with the 35-21, winning by
Our
two
offense.
tuds. I'm actually the closest with
Yeah,
38-28. I think
true.
it's gonna be a 10-point game. And Matt thinks we're
Yeah.
gonna set an NFL record going freaking
It's just tough,
41-21 by
man.
dropping 40-point games in a
I
row, four
after
total
seeing,
since last
yeah,
season.
after
It's
seeing what
tough
I've
to
seen,
not say
it's
we're
just
gonna score points, and it's tough to say that our defense is gonna allow a crap load of points, you know?
yeah.
So it's like that's where I go. It's got to be
Guys, we're
somewhere in the
losing
30s
credibility
at
as a
least.
podcast with these score predictions, bros.
Watch
We're
it. Watch it
absolutely
happen.
Saints.
The
Watch it
fact of the
happen.
matter is we've seen 2 games, and that is not
Yeah.
enough. That is not enough. That is not enough. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
No, it
Things
really
No,
could,
isn't,
no.
man. Like,
things could be flipped
yeah.
upside down completely, and we'll
Yeah.
be over here pouting and shit. So that's why I'm trying to just bring us here. You know what I'm saying? And
You brought
Yeah.
it, but you still brought it
reel
to
us in.
35-21.
I know.
35-21 is not
I'm
reeling
sorry.
anything in.
I'm going
That's
both ways. I'm
casting
being
back out,
bipolar
bro, with
right here.
dynamite. What are you
I'm
doing?
being
Yeah.
bipolar. I'm
I
talking
just,
out
I can,
both sides of my mouth. I'm sorry.
I just can't see 35. I just can't. Like after the first 2 weeks when we've done it
I know, but you
effortlessly.
can't let what I'm trying to say is you can't let yourself like grasp onto that and say like this is always
Oh,
going to be the case.
oh, I'm not. I don't
Okay.
think I am at
Okay.
all. I think I'm
Okay.
being really realistic.
Okay,
Like,
good.
because our offense again has not played. Our first string offense has not
Jesus
played in the fourth
Christ,
quarter
Matt.
at all, and we
Yeah.
haven't needed it.
Right.
And we're
But
putting up
that's
40
an
points without a
anomaly.
quarter of play. It's just
It's an
to
anomaly,
me.
man.
Matt is going to, and if Matt's right, then we will all come back here Sunday after the game, and we will all
Absolutely. I'm so
laugh at
happy.
Matt and just say, Matt, you're the man. Let's go ahead and take you to
Yes.
Vegas, bro. Like, you got some other
Right.
lines you want to let me know about. That's
Right.
totally fine.
I hope so.
I think
hope
we're
I'm
all
right
trying
too.
to. It's hard to
But
temper
that's
expectations
just
right
what my
now with how
eyes see.
dominant the Saints have been, man.
Right.
It really is hard to do it. I
Right.
mean,
That's a good statement, Trey.
they're not doing anything
Really
crazy
tough.
on offense, but they're using their personnel. It works with the personnel that they have.
Right.
We are realizing their true talent of this team right now is being absolutely
Right.
maximized to 100 to
Right.
110%. I mean, let's be real, man. Derek Carr has thrown two of the best passes that he's thrown as a Saint in back-to-back games on these
Maybe
bombs to
in his
Shaheed.
career.
Maybe even in his career, man. I don't even know at
Maybe in
this
his
point. That's
career.
true.
Those were
Like,
dots, dude. Both of
dude,
those.
Oh yeah.
55 plus yards in the air, man. These aren't little.
And
These aren't
and on
little
both of them,
dunks,
he had like people in his face. He got hit on
Yeah.
the second one. He got hit after.
Yeah.
Like pressure
No, and
still there, and just
and I'm
Saints.
all here for it, man. I'm all here for it. I think the flow of the game is going to really tell the tale. I think the two things that I want you guys to look out for, and what I think our listeners should really look out for, is how the Saints defend Jalen Hurts this year, because our new personnel on defense is really going to tell the tale if this is going to help or not. I'm looking at you, Chase Young, and I'm looking at you, Willie Harris. Safety, run defense, safety that we signed. So keep an eye on that when you guys are watching this game, because that is going to tell a tale. If you can contain Jalen Hurts, I think Saquon is
Absolutely.
Saquon's an absolute monster.
Don't get me
Every
wrong.
time
Right.
that we play, we have the linebackers to handle him. It's really going to be how this D line handles him. And I think another key factor too, and this guy hasn't played him yet, is Brian Bresee. That interior pass rush on passing downs is going to play a really huge role. Him, Nathan Shepard, how they interact with each other.
Right.
You know, what's Carl Granson going to be doing with these guys too, you know? So and the Saints just got dudes at all levels to really kind of shut things down. I really don't see Devontae Smith getting unhinged and just going off against us. Not with these D-backs playing.
And not without AJ Brown taking
Yeah.
attention away from him.
Yeah, we know who the number one's going to be.
One thing we did with the Cowboys a lot was, we took away Dak's long passes to CD. And I think that's going to be similar, man. You just